Hello everyone, welcome back to Ayumu's BS Seminar. I'm your host Ayumu, and then welcome to Milan's top 8 game. Sorry that it's taking so long, and I'm just gonna cut to the main point because I know you're all here to watch the gameplay and maybe some explanations from me as well. So let's get right into it. So first of all, let's look at the deck list from Harry, which is a typical era list. Something to point out is probably the one backlist, the one Imperial Forest, and one Corvette. Backlist, pretty useful stuff in a Nova deck, especially since back in the days there was Enterprise for them to worry about. So backlist can be a really good card to kind of just level down Enterprise so that the other ones, their red armor will get removed so that Nova can actually destroy them. But even right now, it's just a very good card to pair with Nova because you're literally leveling down the opposing spirits. So like there's more destruction targets for Nova. And then there's also the one Imperial Forest, which is mainly for the level 2 effect. For an era deck, it's very often that you might run out of ascent targets. So it is very crucial that you keep having the core 6 cards for you to ascend Nova and an era on. So that's why you got the Imperial Forest, and then like he's also playing 2 Blazing Ball to just get the ascent targets back to hand. And then the one Corvette is an interesting choice, but recently I've seen a lot more people trying to use the card in an era deck because the deck draws so much. Discarding your hand for one time can be very useful in some cases, like especially when your opponent put too many calls on one spirit. That's when you use Corvette, try to remove their calls to the trash, and then render their hand useless because they have no cause to use anything. And then we're just gonna skip the side decks and move on to his opponent, Samuel's list, which is a Hydra deck. A very typical mid-range Hydra, I would like to call it that way, because he's using the Battle Core package with 2 Battle Cores and then stuffing all the cost 4 spirits in there so that he has a constant source of blockers for quite a while actually, until he can manage to drag the Hydra out. Another interesting card to see is the 1 copy of Mandala, which actually makes sense because I think for a Hydra deck, probably the worst opponent you can face is white deck, especially the Frost Tiger deck. So sometimes you do need to go for the mill tactic instead of going for just the raid 2 and double symbols attacks. So that's why he maxed out the fourth of the Safagra, or what people like to call the Fat Frog, and then also 1 Mandala to try to mill it out. And obviously when Mandala attacks, you can also discard Frog from the hand to mill another 6 cards. So Mandala can be really useful in some cases. And then another card to look into is definitely the 1 copy of Erupting Submarine Volcano, which is again probably for the level 2 effect to mill more cards from the opposing deck. Yeah, that's about it. All the other things are very typical. You got the Deadly Balance, which can pair quite pretty well with the Immortal or Beldago as well. Then Floodstream against the aggro and mid-range tactic decks. And then also Dream Bomb usually against era, but in some cases maybe mirror games as well if they don't have a Seabed Lighthouse. That's it for the short deck introduction, so let's quickly move on to the games. So I put the video at 2 times speed so that it's not too much of a drag to get through. So Harry's going first, so that's why he drew 2 at the same time, paid 4 for the Canyon, but very good stuff on era deck, even if you're facing Hydra, because you do need the early filter on. And then Samuel plays a Polon, got a C back from there, not too bad, would be better with his Labyrinth, but it's still a Nessus. So back to Harry, he's thinking what to drop the Canyon. So Samuel didn't attack with Polon because using a Hydra deck, you don't really need to attack early on, because like Hydra can just do a 1 punch in a single turn. So Harry ditched a Rubius with a Canyon but played Blazing Ball to take back the Rubius, and then Samuel opened a Starblast draw from there. Oh, Samuel got the Labyrinth, and then there's a Deep Walker, so now he start boosting cores. Still not enough cores to do anything yet. Oh, he got the 1 copy of Volcano, so just gonna set down a burst as well and just pass over there. Back to Harry's turn. Discard a Big Bang Energy. It's too early for him to use the Big Bang Energy, so that makes sense. I play the Starblast draw from hand because most likely Samuel will not have any other summon effects. And even if Samuel does, if they see Harry setting a burst down that early on, they might just not play any summon effects to try to avoid that. And so Harry put down a Scorched Battlefield, and then continue on with that. Since you're facing a Hydra deck, most likely you just want to set the Ice Shield early as well. Especially right now, Samuele already has enough cost to play the Hydra and even Core Boost, and just enough to put it at level 2 while maintaining the other 2 spirits as well. So he started attacking with Hydra, destroy the Blazing Ball, and then mill 4. So Harry, because he doesn't have any purple symbols on the field, he cannot use Core Fat or Ice Shield. So he took. So he got the Ice Shield set. Sorry, the camera didn't capture everything. So Harry is now at 2 lives with 1 Ice Shield used. He needs a Nova right now, or else he would just lose here. So he decided to ditch Imperial Forest, which actually makes sense because the game is too quickly that you won't have enough time to pull it down and also use the level 2 to recycle anything. So the best way for Harry right now is try to dig for the Nova. Okay, so he got the Big Bang Energy. There's Andromeda destroying the Seabed, makes sense. There's another Star Blast draw. Ooh, very unlucky for Harry. But actually makes sense, because why else would you set a burst when you have 5 lives? Red right now has quite a lot of summon effects, so it's very easy for the opponent to trigger Star Blast draw. So there's the Era destroying 2. So Harry get to draw 2, still trying to dig for the Nova. There's the Asian draw. Nothing, and returning an Ice Shield to the bottom as well, which is really tough. So that's why I put the video at 2 times speed, because Harry, as you can see, some players do think really long, so it's not a good thing to just put the videos at normal speed, because you don't really want to just wait for them to think. And because I'm doing the commentary on solo as well, honestly, there's really not much I can say when the player's just thinking, not doing anything else. So Harry played the Rubius and put Scorched Battlefield level 2. So he's probably thinking if you want to swing with Era there. Obviously, Samuele can just block with Hydra, but Samuele might want to save the Era so that he can get so he can try to mill 9 as well, and obviously taking 2 lives for the Core Boost isn't too bad of an option either. But no, so Harry decided to just call up Era and just pass. But so it's basically forcing Samuele to try to put 2 cores on Lighthouse as well, but no. So what happened there was that Samuele just used Flood Stream to destroy Rubius first. So when Hydra attacks, Harry is forced to destroy Era, and then he cannot use any non-red magic cards. So that was literally game 1 with the win to Samuele. So now they're sideboarding. You can quickly check out what kind of side cards they might use from the sideboard. Deck list in the links in the description below. So if I just quickly say something while they're trying to do that. So probably Harry would throw in more Nessus Destruction because it got the 3 Pharaoh Slash and the 1 Burning Force as well. Maybe more Big Bang Energy and more Grey to up the number count, so that even if they got milled, Harry might still be able to get the pieces into their hand. And on the other hand, for Samuele, probably just silent the counter sword, and that's about it. You don't really need to put anything more in. Cthulhu Shark might also be an option, but most of the time you probably don't need the board wipe. It's usually for when the opponent has blue armor, like for example against Frost Tiger. That's when Cthulhu Shark might be useful. But in this case, I suppose it depends, because Nova also uses the Soul Core. So if they reach the game where Nova has healed, you can just summon Cthulhu Shark to literally board wipe, because the Soul Core is gone. They can't save any spirits at all. So Harry went first again, summoning Dino Man. Not a bad start, but Samuele did get the Poland again, and then another Seabed. I felt like I've seen this somewhere before. He set down a burst as well, which is most likely Star Blast draw, so Harry has to be really careful here. But no, he decided to just pay 4 for Asian draw, which is really bad. Because like he's not having any reductions on the field, he's not building up anything at all. He needs a Nessus. Doesn't even have to be a Canyon, but he needs a Nessus right now. So he got the 1 copy of Volcano again for Samuel, and pay 1 to use Strong Draw. What's he going to discard? A Counter Sword. Yeah, so Counter Sword might be too early for Samuel to use right now, so discarding here right now is not a bad choice. And also discard the Sepulchra. Probably too many spirits in hand already, so like he might want to save the, or maybe he got the other cards that he just want to keep filtering, you know, maybe like another copy of Strong Draw, etc. So he decided to discard the Sepulchra first, which is practically useless without the Hydra. So Harry used the Pharaoh Slash on the Seabed Lighthouse, so that later on he might be able to use his Corvette and Dream Bomb. So Samuel only played down a Deep Walker and then pass. It's a bit of a slow start for both players right now for this game. So also Harry got a second Dynamo as well, I didn't realize that. Right, yeah, so Harry is literally just stalling right now, hoping that Samuel doesn't get the Hydra yet. So only play Rubius and pass. Wow. Okay. So Samuel summon Hydra, Ascent over Deep Walker, and then with Deep Walker effect bring back the Seabed Lighthouse from the trash. So now Hydra is at level 2 with 2 Nessuses at the back as well. That is such a good setup for Samuel right here. So Hydra swings, Harry destroy the Rubius, so milling 0, but he gets to draw 1 as well. Decide to block with Dinoman here. Harry literally can't do anything right here because he has no symbols on the field. Thanks to the Lighthouse, he can't use any magic cards at all. So that's 2 lives. Hydra's gonna attack again. There's another 2 lives and a pull-on swing and take the last life, and that is the end of the rounds. Samuel got into top 4, which you probably expected if you've seen the results already. So unlucky for Harry, but what can I say? The Hydra high road once again. Thank you for watching, and please come back for the top 4 games. I'll see you later.